Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with 6 months 60 books. There's 2 book reviews in one day because it's Easter Sunday, weather's glorious, and I thought, hey, let's do some reviews. Here we go. So it's Dreamer's Jenny Colgan, The Endless Beach. Charming, Total Joy, by Sophie Kinsella. The Sunday Times bestseller. Here we go. Follow your heart to the seaside kitchen. On the quayside next to the Endless Beach sits the seaside kitchen. It's a haven for tourists and locals alike, who all come to eat the most delicious food on the island and catch up with the gossip. Flora, who runs the cafe, feels safe and content until she thinks too hard about her relationship with Joel, her gorgeous but emotionally and physically distant boyfriend. When Flora is in turmoil about her relationship, her best friend Lorna is pining about after the local doctor. Dave came to the island as a refugee, having lost all of his family. It was when he gets some shocking news which will change everything for him. As cold winter nights shift to long summer days, can the two friends find their own happy ever afters? And this is a sequel to the Summer Seaside Kitchen, okay? And Jenny Colgan has written many books. I've actually read all of them. I do love her work. Now, one thing I am grateful for is a disclaimer, a word from Jenny, giving us all a catch up, again, all the people. So here we go. About Colton and about Flora's brother Finton, who kind of, get together. And this one thing I love about Jenny Colgan is that she really has a flair for the descriptor. She makes us, the reader, actually feel part of this island of Muir. She is vivid in her descriptions. She also gives it a very kind of homely feel. Okay, I will give her this. However, I do have a few problems with this book. Okay, here we go. Now, in the previous book, okay, Jan, Flora had a kind of little thing with her boyfriend, and they broke up at the time. Okay, Charlie. And it wasn't even that much, okay? But now Jan has got it in for Flora. Because how could anyone hate Flora? Because Flora's lovely. Here we go. This is page 14, where Jan basically asks Flora to cater the wedding. Here we go. Well, said Jan, a smile playing her lips, we thought you might like to cater the wedding. Flora blinked. She was desperate to get into catering. There was no use on the Rock, hotel at Colton's building, and she really did want to turn over some more money. She had to pay the girls a little more. She'd rather not have to watch everyone watch Charlie get married. On the other hand, she didn't really care, did she? Then she could really do with the money, and she'd be backstage at the time, looking after the things in the kitchen. Actually might be the best possible solution. Of course, she said, would be delighted. Jenny leaned closer. It would make a lovely wedding present. Flora blinked. Ah, said Flora finally. No, I think we'll have the charge. I'm sorry. Jen nodded as in sympathy. Well, this must be hard for you, she said finally. Flora could do nothing but look ahead cheerfully. You think with that rich boyfriend of yours, you want to do something good for the island. Yeah, so basically, in this, we're meant to think that Jan is a total bitch, okay? And further along in this book, okay? Here we go. Where Jan meets Joel, Flora's American, actually says, here we go. It's after the wedding, in which basically Jan tries to sabotage, okay, because ask so many people to come and not order enough food, and suddenly it's all Flora's fault. So essentially, we're meant to hate Jan with a passion. Here we go. Jan looked up and down at him. You're Flora's American, she announced. I thought you'd have meat on your bones. Like my Charlie, she said smugly. Joe remembered now that Flora didn't like her, which was puzzling, as Flora generally liked everyone, like a Labrador. But she was beginning to see a point. Are you off? She said. You're on mental health leave, aren't you? She could not have picked a worse term. Joel's face tightened. Excellent. We can use you around here. Get your DBS check and come join us. He held up the forms in. We need volunteers. We always need volunteers. Come and help us with the boys. I know I don't think so. Mark coughed meaningfully. Everyone else has 2 jobs. You have none. It's about right that you think. Don't we won't make you do anything mentally taxing or stressful. Just put up some tents and cook some sausages. I don't think it'd be appropriate. Maybe some more imperative, said Jan in a direct way of hers that book no argument. So essentially, Jan, who burst to hate, and she's a total bitch, okay, turns to a guy with some mental health issues, I'm going to get that in a second, says, oh, well, you're going to come work with us, because everyone only has 2 jobs, and basically how do you think you are? And you have like a DBS check. So someone who essentially had a nervous breakdown, okay, and is off on medical leave, okay, off work on medical leave. Now, I absolutely appreciate that Jenny Colgan actually talks about mental health issues that affect men, because that isn't covered a lot in fiction. Normally, a lot in these kind of fictions, let's call it women's literature, okay, is men are treated like, well, let's say like, hey, Sophie Kinsella, if you were, because she's on the thing. Men are treated badly. Men are treated like idiots. Men are horrible and derogative and derogative and sexist and nasty. This is one of the few books I've read which actually takes male mental health issues into concern. But one thing that Jan doesn't know, okay, is that Joel grew up in the care system. Maybe, just maybe, okay, that being confronted with his essay, his childhood, his own past, or he's struggling with his mental health issues may not be a good thing. But in Jan's mind, she's kind of gone too far with this. But however, in her day job, she helps out children during the foster care system. Do you understand? Conflicting characters. I'm reading this thinking, how am I supposed to like Jan or hate Jan? Because this is the job she does. You'd think she would be the hero of this book, okay? And yeah, she's presented as the villain. Even though she basically helps out on the previous children. Do you kind of get it? Okay, so. Yeah, that's... So I absolutely applauded the fact that she's taken mental health into consideration here. Now, regarding Flora, now there's one thing that absolutely annoyed me. Now, because I've got 4 nephews and 4 nieces, okay, so loads of cousins. I grew up with a ragtag bunch of kids all around me. You know how it is, okay? Flora has this niece called Argot, okay, and this is how she speaks when she's 4 years old. Bold capitals, bold capital letters, by the way. Thank you, Auntie Flora. Argot's little face looked up and creased into a frown. What wrong? Flora begged. There's nothing wrong, he said. You crying, sad. At a Flora. You sad not cry. Don't want to be sad. Snozzer want to watch Peppa Pig. Well, good. I think that's next idea. What's a dickhead Auntie-Flora? Now, do you kind of get... Every time Argot opens her mouth, it's so annoying. It is so annoying. Actually, well, yeah, well, you know, she's 8 now, but I don't know any 4-year-old who talks like that at all. They normally got quite a good grasp of vocabulary. Why is it they do understand? Okay? Yeah, and she talks in big capital letters. Yeah, so basically she shouts all the time. You practically failed this kid. But the thing is, Sav, who is a doctor who is a refugee, came to the island. One thing I did like is the fact is that he was alone, then they found his sons. So that is actually really good to kind of show the immigrant experience being a child refugee. Going from his homeland to suddenly he's on a small island, his father's a doctor. And these boys who are 6 and 10, obviously they spent 2 years without their dad. So, and one thing I did like is this is actually very researched on that. This is research to show how a child can be impacted by the refugee crisis. And I thought it was very well described, okay? That was very well described. That was lovely. Here we go. This is the bit. This is page 175. This is when he defined the sons, and actually it's quite late in a book, which is 410 pages, well, 100 pages long. Here we go. Saif held his breath. Ibrahim had, after the first time saying his father's name, been silent. He retreated to the corner tables of tops, where he'd been banging pegs into a wooden board with a toy hammer. Again, far too tiny for a boy of 10, though he looked younger. Ash, however, who was 6, let his father go. He shrieked and raced towards him and clambered onto his lap and refused to budge. The last time Saif had seen him, he had been a round, baby-faced angel of a boy. Only just 4, still with the folds of a baby, he had been on his knees and elbows. Now he was so thin it was heartbreaking. His eyes were huge in his face, his cheekbones hollow in his legs and arms like sticks. When Saif picked him up, he weighed as much as a well-fed meal 4-year-olds he treated in his surgery. He found and looked at Nida, social worker, who glanced into his notes. They're both in high-calorie meal drinks as well as food, she said. She read down further. Apparently neither of them both like it. Safe buried his head into Ash's shoulders so he couldn't see him cry. I'm so sorry, he whispered in English so Ash might understand him. The child replied Abba's back and Ab because they've been away for a day. Yeah, so that's really, really good and described. I really, really like that. That's the thing. Some bits in this book, the way it considers mental health issues, the immigrant experience, are absolutely brilliant and touch me because a lot of authors don't even go on this kind of emotional journey with you. Then the problem arises. Finton and Colton is page 196. Wait, okay, my darling baby, I adore you. Have done since the first time I met you, all sulky and a bit drunk. They very much me at my best, said Finton. And I've decided the rest of my life is going to be here. It is I've decided I've been hell everywhere. And no is better than this. In fact, I want to be here. I want to be with you and time well. It's always later than you think. Finton smiled down at him. Bramble, the dog, let his tongue low out and panted for excursions. Colton warbled. Finton, for fuck's sake. Okay, yes, okay, so, Muir is having its first ever gay wedding, which is brilliant. Sorry, this one. First ever gay wedding. Finton, who is a cheesemaker, okay, and Colton, who's a billionaire, is actually building a hotel on the island. This is where the book falls apart for me. Because this is a book where people are trying to find their happiness in their own little ways. But there is a trope called bury your gays. Is a trope. Bury your gays. Now, one of a really good egregious example, ever see Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Ever see that? Remember Tara? Got back together with Willow and then promptly died. If you're gay in fiction, you normally wind up dead. Yes, so bury your gays trope. If you're gay in fiction, you die. It's just the way it is. It's like punishing you for your transgressions, if you will. Especially as, yeah, it's okay. Now, Josh Whedon said if Willow was still with Oz would have died. And I'm like, you still killed off Tara. You could have killed off anyone. And it was Tara. And we don't forgive you, and I never have. So damn you, Josh Whedon. Okay? But then it turns out that Colton, the multi-billionaire, is died from pancreatic cancer. And this struck a nerve with me because my own father died from pancreatic cancer. Okay? So the descriptions of what's happening to Colton, I recognise quite instantaneously. But the fact is that in this book where people are trying to find their own happiness, they get a happy ever after, a gay character who only really came out in the last book, that's Finton, okay, in this kind of like rural community, if you will, and they were all accepted, okay, you then kill off the billionaire gay character. No. You don't undermine people's happiness with a death like this. On their wedding day, he finds out on their wedding day. Okay? And this bit here. This is page 400. There you go. No one could remember who the idea it was, but it meant Colton could come and sit out without getting to uncomfortable children as well as proving quite the draw to people. There was the evenings with a lit fire in the sand that didn't gather round to chat or chew the fat or sit with Finton and Colton was sleeping. While Colton was awake, Finton did his best he could to smile and look happy and chat. When he was asleep, Finton felt was teetering on the edge of a very high cliff, and it was taking Ireland to help him hold on. See what I mean? Bury your goddamn gays. Yep, here's a trope. Which, I enjoyed this book, but it kind of destroyed it for me. Nah. Jenny, you really, really should think of the bigger picture. It's quite funny that the thing with the social workers in this book, and this happened at the front, whereas social workers were depicted not brilliantly in the last book. So in this book, she rectifies it by giving us some nice social workers. In the last book, she introduced us with a closeted gay character who makes cheese and was quite an introvert, gave him a true love, and then the next book kills him. Yeah, and it seemed to be done for dramatic purposes because this is a story where it seemed that everyone could be happy, apart from the gays. If you're gay, you're screwed. Thank you, Jenny. Cheers for that. So, anyway, sign off here. See everyone soon, and happy Easter and bye now.